Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
He needs care and treatment.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Is this a great country or what?
Locking down the middle of the day, live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Welcome in! Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Monday. Hope your work week's off to a great start. Happy Mother's Day a day late to all the moms out there. Hope the weekend was a good one. We got a ton to do over the next couple of hours. Saints rookie minicamp, some Jordan Tyson updates. We'll hear from Kellen Moore a little bit later. LSU is looking in the junior college ranks for some cornerback help. We'll discuss that as well. And unfortunately, we got to talk about baseball, which did not go so good. So we'll start there. It's our opening drive.
Welcome to the big league.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive, presented by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville.
This team is cooked. They went to Georgia, needed to, had to get one. They got none. And LSU showed up on Friday ready to play. You saw a two-spot in the first inning, and you got off to a good start. Stephen Milam poked into right field, played a pair of runs, gave up a homer to Jackson over the batter's eye in center field, and gave up a walk to score a run to tie things at 2. But LSU came right back in the third. Boom, Cerna homers to center. Boom, Aaron Beatty homers to center. Boom, Pearson homers to left center. You pop 3 balls out of the yard in the third inning, and you're thinking, all right, like, these guys can hit. They hit in Starkville. They hit against South Carolina. They've hit in the midweek, and now they're teeing off on a pretty good Georgia ace and Joey Volchko. Like, this is a really good start. They've got a chance. This is a team that is getting better offensively. Let's go. And from that point forward, Georgia totally and completely outclassed LSU in every aspect of the game. And for me, I've watched a lot of LSU baseball in my day. Some of y'all have not watched as much. Some of y'all have watched much more. But I've watched a lot. And I've seen LSU lose a lot. It's baseball. You lose a lot every year. Championship teams lose 15 games. But not often do I see LSU just swatted aside like a gnat. And that's what I felt like I saw against Texas A&M in Baton Rouge for 3 days. And that's what I felt like I was watching on television when LSU was in Athens over the weekend. Georgia was just way better at everything. And that's just tough to swallow. But it doesn't make it any less true. Georgia offensively was so impressive. I put the numbers together for Around the Horn on LouisianaSports.net. Georgia hit 422 for the weekend. For the weekend, hit 422. With runners on base, they hit 377. With runners in scoring position, Georgia hit 341. LSU recorded 3 consecutive outs, 1, 2, 3, in order. One time. Once. Kason Evans' first inning, which looked really good, by the way, was the only 1, 2, 3 inning LSU produced from the mound in 22 tries against Georgia. On Saturday, Georgia had multiple base runners in every inning. Hitting's supposed to be hard. Really good hitters get a hit like 1 out of 3. Georgia's putting 2 guys on in every frame. I know the ballpark's tiny, and I made some comments about that. I wrote about it a little bit. Like, I only thought 2 of the homers they hit all weekend were cheap. Just scraping the wall in right field. Most of them were cannon blasts, and they didn't need homers. Rockets in the gap, ground balls through the infield, sac flies, like whatever they needed, they got. And LSU was plenty willing from the mound to help out. 31 free bases LSU allowed. They hit 26. They walked 26 and hit 5. In 22 innings, you walked 26 runners. That feels impossible. It feels impossible. This is something that I talked about in March. And it still stands true. Like, there's a lot of stuff on a baseball field that's really hard to do. It's really hard to hit a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. It's really hard to make backhand plays in the hole. It's really hard to cover ground in the outfield, make diving catches. There are things that are really hard to do in baseball. Throwing the ball over the plate is just not. It's just not a hard thing to do. Throwing the ball over the plate is not a hard thing to do. And LSU all season has been a disaster. Starting pitching, middle relief, back into the bullpen, just about everybody has had massive trouble trying to throw the ball over the plate. Now, this is a question I will ultimately ask in the offseason, but it's something that I've put together in my brain, and we'll see if it's true or not. LSU does lead the country in strikeouts. They're going to lead the Southeastern Conference in strikeouts for a third straight year. And that is inherently a very good thing. You strike out a lot of guys. That is good. But at what cost? Are you compromising location by chasing velocity? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not telling. I'm asking. Are you compromising location for velocity? Are you throwing too many breaking balls that, yes, are hard to hit? You strike a lot of guys out, but you might fall behind in counts. You might walk guys. Is there some sort of internal philosophy that suggests that we need to do this to get strikeouts, and the side effects are walks, hit batsmen falling behind? Well, that's not a good trade-off. But Georgia collected 18 extra base hits. They scored 36 runs over the weekend and left 31 more on base. It was a traffic jam start to finish in the Classic City. Start to finish. And for LSU, there's just nowhere to turn. And it turns out, as we mentioned on Friday, that I would not be stunned if this was the case, the pitching performances that you got against South Carolina, that's fool's gold. Because South Carolina is abysmal offensively. Atrocious. Anemic. Awful. Whatever you want to throw. They're awful. And so you're Schmidt's longest outing, Paz's longest outing, Callan goes out there and shuts him out for 6 innings. Like, all that's fool's gold because Carolina can't hit. You brought the same cast of characters to Athens and couldn't get anybody out. So, to me, the South Carolina series was just simply a mirage. And you're looking at a team at LSU that just has nowhere to turn from a pitching perspective. And that's really, really disappointing. Now, I've done this segment like twice already, and I'll do it a third time, and I'm going to throw the same caveat out there that I have each previous time, because I want this to be very, very clear. I am not blaming Kason Evans and William Schmidt for LSU shortcomings this year. If you put together a list of the things that have plagued LSU, they are nowhere near the top, okay? They are the most talented 2 starting pitchers on this team, and they have done some really good things for LSU. But here is the fact of the matter. And I understand the injury for Schmidt, the injury for Evans, but those guys in SEC play, Schmidt has an ERA of 5.14, and Evans has an ERA of 6.69 in league play. Again, Schmidt, 5.14, Evans, 6.69. You're just not going to win if those are your 2 lead dogs. You're just not. You're not going to be able to keep up. And those 2 guys have great stuff. And we've seen them at their best. Like, I thought that Kason was obviously brilliant against Oklahoma. I thought Schmidt was really good against Kentucky, really good against South Carolina. There have been moments, but you understand what I'm saying when I say that. Oklahoma is not great. Kentucky is not good. South Carolina stinks on ice. When LSU has challenged itself and has gone against the top competition in the Southeastern Conference, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Georgia, Texas A&M, those are the 4 teams LSU has played with a winning SEC record. LSU's record against those teams is 0-12. 0-12. They've been swept 4 times. I did not go back through the annals of LSU baseball history. I did say, what's the worst stretch I remember for LSU baseball? And it was Smoke LaValle's last year that got him fired and Paul Maneri's first year where LSU didn't make the tournament. Those 2 years combined, LSU played 20 SEC series and got swept 3 times. 3 out of 20. This group has been swept 4 out of 9. 4 out of 9. I honestly have a hard time wrapping my arms around how this got so bad. I do. Because I look at the team that LSU put out there on Sunday, and I see real talent. Like Derek Curiel is a good player. Stephen Milam's a good player. Cade Arambidi is emerging into a star. Mason Braun and Omar Cerna are ready to hit at this level. That's more than half the lineup. You got Kason Evans out there, Zach Cowan out there, and you just got clocked by Georgia. And it wasn't just Sunday. It was Saturday and it was Friday. I've seen a lot of really, really bad teams. I've seen Missouri come in here. I saw that South Carolina team last week. LSU has guys that are going to play in the big leagues on this team. Missouri has no one. And the results are similar. That is wild to me. And ultimately, I think it just comes down to a complete lack of execution on the mound. It's not talent. They have guys that throw 97 miles an hour, a lot of them. They've got guys with great spin rates on their breaking ball, a lot of them. But the collection of this staff has just been very, very poor in executing. Could not get Vanderbilt out much of that series. Could not get Georgia out at all. Could not get Mississippi State out at all. Could not get Ole Miss out at all. We now know, with the benefit of hindsight, that the underbelly of this schedule was early. Vanderbilt's not any good. Oklahoma's not that good. Kentucky's not any good. You played some poor teams early. Those games that you let get away, the Gavin Guidry grand slam walk-off against Vanderbilt, those games that you let get away, 2 against Oklahoma on your field, those are the ones that are going to end up costing you a chance to make things interesting in the last weekend of the season. And as it stands right now, you have not. You've gotten to your 18th loss. That means the most league wins you can have is 12. I'm not 100% certain you can't win 12 games and then win Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 more times in the SEC tournament and get in. I'm not 100% certain you can't do that. But I'm quite confident LSU's not going to sweep Florida and win 5 games in Hoover. So this weekend, for all intents and purposes, was the death knell. I know that a lot of you would suggest that you knew this team was going nowhere as of a month ago, and that's fine. I just am not going to choose to watch baseball like that. I'm going to try to have optimism until it's physically taken away. And Georgia physically took a bunch of bats and beat it into submission. This team is cooked. They will not be in the NCAA tournament, and that does not make for a very fun June around here. So with all those sunshine and roses to start your week, we're off and moving here on a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. We'll continue with the baseball discussion. Got to get to some LSU football coming up in 15 minutes. Stick with us on the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Gotro's Outdoor Power. Gotro's Outdoor Power. Look, get on by and see them. 2 locations. One on Airline Highway in Baton Rouge. One in Gonzales. They've been in business for 22 years. Slinging hustlers. Biggest hustler inventory in the state. Biggest parts inventory in the state. If you need a new zero-turn mower, get on by and see my friends at Gotro's Outdoor Power. They're online at gotrosonline.com, but go by and see them. You get the wonderful customer service. If you've got a trailer, awesome. They'll get you all set up. If you need that machine delivered to your property, they can do that as well. Need parts delivered, they got trucks on the road every single day as well. Go by and see them. Airline Highway in Baton Rouge or in Gonzales. Gotro's Outdoor Power online at gotrosonline.com.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Tell you all the story sometimes. LSU was getting ready to play their College World Series opener in 2023. I sat down to watch it. Skeens on the mound against Tennessee, and my power went out. Storm just blew through. Was living in the Garden District at the time. Lose power pretty frequently. Gone. I ended up at my wife's friend's parents' house watching that game. Now, I love those people, wonderful people, but probably wanted to be in the comfort of my own home, but I couldn't because my power was out. Now that's not going to happen because you get the generator from the folks at Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Get that Generac home standby generator and make sure you're not a loser like me who can't watch a game because the power went out. Summertime, we get power outages around here. It gets really hot. Get those storms that blow through in the afternoons. Core storm season's upon us. Give yourself the peace of mind that the power's not going to go out on you or your business. Boudreaux's Electrical Services is happy to help you out. Call them at 985-397-1562. 985-397-1562. And then you can also get them in the Gonzales location, 225-300-9389. Get that Generac home standby generator installed soon at Boudreaux's Electrical Services. All right, after that intro, which is just not a lot of fun, let's talk a little bit about some of the positive here. I realize that you're all aware of this, and it'll be an ongoing narrative that we probably talk about into June, quite frankly. That LSU's young players are getting an opportunity to go out there and get a lot of quality at bats. And you saw that over the weekend. Mason Braun was 4 for 10 on the weekend. He walked twice, so he got on base 6 times, scored a run out of the leadoff spot. He's getting a ton of experience this year, and we didn't know if that was necessarily going to be the case. I know that Braun did start on opening day, but he kind of lost his spot in the lineup at a certain point. He's wrestled that away, and he's ready to hit. He's going to go off into the summer, and he'll be a projected star on next year's team. There's no question about that. Same thing goes for Omar Cerna, who hit that huge home run in the game on Friday. Weren't sure if you're going to see Omar Cerna on Friday or over the weekend because he didn't play in the midweek game on Tuesday, had that back issue, and he's still dealing with some of that. But had the big swing, also got hit by a pitch, scored a run, drove in a run on Sunday with a hit. So he had a couple hits, including a homer and 2 RBI over the weekend. Cade Arambidi with some really impactful swings, 2-run homer on Friday, the 3-run double on Saturday. So he had 2 hits on the weekend that were both huge, drove in 5 over the weekend. Those 3 are going to form the real nucleus of next year's team. I know a lot of people are talking about Stephen Milam. That decision has not been made, and I don't know that you should expect him to come back to LSU. Would I just be flatly stunned if he came back? No. Would I expect him to come back? No is also the answer. Jay Johnson talked about that 2 weeks ago, said, look, I can't be the GM of the Tampa Bay Rays. I just got to try to coach our team. But I would definitely draft Stephen Milam, and I would anticipate that Milam will move on. But this is a year where we thought that the lineup would look something like Arambidi, York, Simpson, Milam, Caraway, Stanfield, Brown, Curiel. That group would have been all gone except Arambidi at catcher, because all the rest of the guys I just named will either run out of eligibility or move off. So you thought there was a chance you were going to go into next year with Arambidi like really being the only starter that you've got back. Well, now you're going to have half an SEC season where Braun, Cerna, Ruckert, Patrick, and Arambidi made up more than half your lineup. So, yeah, this stinks. This is awful. I hate it. I'm miserable. I said this a couple weeks ago. I'm handling this like a pouty little baby. No maturity whatsoever. Just pitiful how upset I get that LSU is not going to make the NCAA baseball tournament. Pathetic. But if you look at trying to make a learning experience out of it, you're now going to bring back a significant portion of this team when you thought you were going to bring back almost none of it. But it turns out that Caraway lost his spot, York lost his spot, Simpson lost his spot. You haven't had Dardar for most of the season because he got hurt. Stanfield's been in and out of the lineup. Like, you've had a lot of guys who are out of eligibility who are going to be moving on just fade away, and you're playing a bunch of young guys that are getting valuable experience. The question is on the mound. And that's a deal where I hate to have this discussion, but I don't know what else to do, because I'm not going to talk about the bubble right now. I'm not going to go through the RPI metrics. I'm not looking at conference standings or host projections like that. I don't have that club in the bag. What I have is a team that's already lost 18 games in the league that's not making the NCAA tournament. So immediately your focus kind of turns to next year. And Jay Johnson is going to have to evaluate the transfer portal and juggle that with a signing class that's got a lot of high-end players. Like, there are 2 pitchers in this class that I don't think LSU is going to get to campus, but if you did, they would be immediate impacts from day one. But you can't bank on that. You got to go get in the transfer portal and get some guys. Because I don't think, and I said this in the last segment, and I'll kind of double down on it, like, I don't know that you can go into 2027 and say, okay, the top, my rotation's back. It's good. We got Schmidt, we got Evans, we got Moore. Like, we're good. I don't think that works. You're talking about guys with SEC ERAs over 5. Now, there's certainly development that goes on. I mean, you saw it. Like, if you want to go to the top of the food chain, like, Paul Skeens was nowhere near as good at Air Force in his second season there than he was at LSU in his third season in college. He got way better in year 3. Cade Anderson got way better in year 2 than he was in year 1. Anthony Ianson got way better at LSU than he was at UCSD. It took Ty Floyd 3 years, but towards the back end of his 3rd year, he became a great pitcher. Development happens at different paces for everybody. Some guys just show up like Alex Lang and they're ready to go. Just give me the ball. Went 13-0 as a freshman. Never slowed down. But these 2 guys have a lot of improving to get to where LSU wants to be at the top of the rotation with the 1-2. I've got a story up right now on LouisianaSports.net about Anderson and Ianson. Those 2 guys are in Double-A, and nobody can hit them. Both of their ERAs in the minor leagues this year are under 1. Under 1. Nobody can hit them in the minors. Like, that's how good LSU was atop the rotation, and that's what it takes to win SEC Series. That's what it takes to get to Omaha. That's what it takes to win a national championship. And as I said time and time and time again in January, like, I'm going to frame discussions around this program based on national championship expectations, whether it's preseason, during the season, and looking at the next season. That's the way that discussion has to be framed. And right now, they don't have a pitching staff that can get them anywhere close to Omaha. Because if you look at LSU offensively, and when this thing is settled, I'll look at it, you're going to see a lot of offensive metrics where LSU ranks 5th in the league, 8th in the league, 3rd in the league, 6th in the league, 5th in the league. Like, they are a middle-of-the-road SEC offensive team for much of this season. Once they've gotten those freshmen going. The pitching is atrocious. And you've got a lot of guys that have a lot of eligibility left, but do you just want to bank on their improvement and not restock the shelves? Or you need to go get some dudes. Like, I'm thinking about transfer pitchers in the Southeastern Conference over the years. I'm thinking about Hurston Waldrop going from Southern Miss to Florida. I'm thinking about Liam Doyle going from Ole Miss to Tennessee. I'm thinking about Anthony Ianson and Paul Skeens at LSU. I'm thinking about Luke Holman, Gage Jump at LSU. I'm thinking about Chase Dolander at Tennessee. I'm thinking about Marciano at Auburn, who's been awesome this year. Like, guys that have transferred in that have gone straight to the front of their school's rotation and been difference makers and game changers. And that's something I think LSU is going to have. It's hard to get, but you've got to have it. Because you're seeing right now, this is a dose of perspective here. If you're not great, you will get punched in the face in the Southeastern Conference. Punched in the face. And that's the standard. It's why Missouri can't get out of the cellar. It's why South Carolina's been awful for the last couple of years. If you are not great, you can't survive in this league. They'll just keep beating you. And this LSU team's obviously not great, and the arms that they have thrown out there have not been great. And I feel like they've got to develop, and they've got to go get new players. And if there's some guys on this roster that may need to look elsewhere, that's just how it's going to have to be. Because next year is not going to look like this. I've heard a lot of skepticism about Nate Yeske, and that's convenient. It's an easy thing to do. And I understand that there is criticism that's warranted for the way that LSU has pitched this year. And I'm positive that he and Jamie Tutko are going to cook those numbers, look at everything they possibly can, and do things a little bit differently next year. But there are enough skins on the wall with those two guys, Tutko on the analytics side and Yeske as far as being the actual pitching coach. They've gotten a lot out of a lot of pitchers. It takes different amounts of times for guys. Look at Chase Shores. He was awful in February and March of last year. Nobody could hit him in June. I'm going to give Yeske some credit for that. Anthony Ianson, way better dude than he was when he got to LSU in July. I'm going to give Yeske some credit for that. He's just got to do it with some of these guys, unlock something, because what you've seen from this group right now, from a pitching perspective, is just not good enough. The good news is, as I led this segment with, you've got some offensive pieces that have gotten some seasoning this year that really weren't expected to. And now they look like they're real dudes. And I like that a lot, but you're going to have to supplement. You need to go get more athletic, because the guys I'm talking about, Aaron Beatty, Braun Cerna, are not going to bring that athleticism to you. They're going to slug. They're going to get on base. They're going to drive in runs, create runs. You need some guys to play defense. You need some guys to run a little bit. And they got to go do that with outfielders and middle infielders. But I like the fact that Braun Cerna and Aaron Beatty are basically going to get 6 weeks of playing every day in the Southeastern Conference. That's a good thing for those guys moving into next year. Our Monday show is brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. We'll step aside. When we come back, LSU is looking for some depth at corner. Where they're looking is interesting. We'll talk about it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Lifetime Roofing, lifetimeroofingla.com, lifetimeroofingla.com. Rained a lot over the weekend. If you felt like might be a leak as that rain was falling, contact Lifetime Roofing. Let them go up and inspect. They'll take a look. Maybe you need a new roof. They can do that, obviously. Maybe you just need a repair. They can do that, obviously. Maybe all's good. Would you like to give your roof a tune-up, reinforce it for the storm season to come? They can do that as well. But it's not just roofing with Lifetime Roofing. They certainly do roofing, but they also do windows. They also do siding. They also do gutters. So anything on the exterior of your home that you're looking to improve upon, Lifetime Roofing is happy to do it, and they come with a lifetime workmanship warranty, plus 0% financing for up to 18 months. It's Lifetime Roofing. Find them online at lifetimeroofingla.com.
Every Raising Cane's chicken finger is marinated, battered by hand, and cooked to order to perfection. We don't have heat lamps, because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Another roof gone too soon. Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation. At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today. Case closed.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized, it'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
In a station-wide group text message that's abuzz currently. My Omaha trip is still booked, Jordan. It's still booked.
I don't know why, man.
Well, you know, they win the SEC tournament. I'm in. But I will cancel that. We got the insurance, but we're talking about my accommodations last year in Council Bluffs, Iowa, at the Ameristar, which was phenomenal.
Yes.
But there is one humorous to me aspect of the Ameristar. And it is that they have a jacuzzi 2 feet from the bed in the room.
See, I'm gonna be real. I thought that was so cool last year when we was in our meeting on Wednesday, and you zoomed in from the room and you showed us the jacuzzi in the room.
Jacuzzi in the room in Council Bluffs, Iowa.
I thought that was so like 1970s, and I keep in mind, I've never been around the 70s, but it felt old school.
Somebody asked in the group chat, why is the jacuzzi that close to the bed? And Hanny just responded, don't ask questions you don't want the answer
yeah, for real.
to.
Like, come on, man. What stays in Iowa, stays in Iowa. We don't speak about what happens after that.
Not getting in that hot tub. I'm just telling you. It was funny. I thought it was a hilarious piece to the room. And if folks want to make that part of their vacation experience, that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
I just chose to leave that part out for the 2 weeks I was in Council Bluffs.
I'm not going to lie, Hunt. I would have been in that jacuzzi. Oh, I was in there day one. I'm like, jacuzzi in the room? Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, my God.
Room service?
No. I went down to the sports book. I didn't place any bets. I did not. I thought about betting against LSU a couple times for an emotional hedge, but thankfully I didn't because they never lost.
You'd have lost some money that day. You'd have been mad, too.
All right. Let me tell you about my friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. FabryChevrolet.com is the website. They're on Highway 61 in St. Francisville. You can get on by and get great deals on Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. If you're looking for a new truck, Fabry Chevrolet GMC is an awesome spot. Go check out some of the deals online at FabryChevrolet.com. You'll find every single vehicle that's on the lot. It's online right there at FabryChevrolet.com. So go by and see them. Highway 61 in St. Francisville. The Fabrys have been making Baton Rouge folks smile for 35 years with those incredible deals and wonderful customer service. So get on by and see them at Fabry Chevrolet GMC, Highway 61 in St. Francisville. All right, let's switch over to LSU football today. I think LSU made a mistake. I believe LSU made a mistake in putting this roster together. I said it at the time, and it only got worse in spring football because LSU did not go into the portal and get a legitimate cornerback. They just didn't. They went and made the entire offensive line over, got 3 quarterbacks, went and found running backs all over the place, brought in more wide receivers than they can fit on the practice field, got edge rushers, linebackers, brought in some safeties. They didn't address corner. And I was like, I'm stunned that Corey Raymond didn't put the crown on, go out and say, all right, who wants to play corner? Come play for me. See the Delane kid? Pretty good. How about this kid Stingley? He just signed a new deal. That guy's pretty good. How's Christian Fulton? That's a pretty good player. Greedy Williams, all right. Dante Jet. Like he's got all these guys that have been pros, All-Americans, studs everywhere. DJ Pickett's well on his way. And just go to the portal and get the dude. And they didn't do it. And then Aiden Anding blew out his Achilles in Tiger Stadium. And now you look up and you don't have a spring portal window. And your numbers at corner are just too thin. I'll read it to you. You got, like, the front part of this is fine. You got DJ Pickett, awesome. You got PJ Woodland, heck of a player. You got Jakeem Jackson. He's a third corner. That's fine. He's a fourth-year college player. Corey Raymond thought enough of him to sign him at Florida, thought enough of him to bring him from Florida to LSU. I'm good with Jakeem Jackson being out there. That's 3 guys you can trust as your starting corners. But behind them, you've got Michael Turner, who hasn't played very much and is very, very thin. You've got true freshmen, Havon Finney and Des Ellis. That's kind of it. You're looking at about 6 corners. Now, Anding was going to be the 4th guy. And if you feel like it was going to be Pickett, Woodland, Jackson, Anding, and probably Havon Finney as your 5th, if you feel that's 5 corners, then you got a couple of extra guys depth behind them, like that's okay. But now you've already lost one. So you're playing with fire a little bit, and there's not really much you can do. There's no trade available for LSU. You can't go make a move. There's no transfer portal in the spring anymore, which Lane Kiffin has lamented. He's like, I wish we had one in our first year here. So the only avenue that's available to go get corners is the junior college route because those guys can enroll later. So LSU is looking at that. Shea Dixon from On Three's The Bengal Tiger has been all over this, and he did report that there were 2 visitors over the weekend from the junior college ranks at cornerback. You had Dylan Johnson from Itawamba in Mississippi, and then Javier Jones out of Kansas at Independence. So they brought those 2 guys in. They've taken a commitment from Georgia Military Academy's Levante Williams. So they've got 1 in the boat. They're going to try to add another one of those 2. I am not going to sit here and try to give you a talent breakdown of Dylan Johnson and Javier Jones as junior college prospects. I don't know how good they are. If they're corners and Corey Raymond can work them out, I trust his evaluation. And you do need numbers. You just need some more bodies, preferably older ones. And that's what these 2 guys can bring. So you should get an answer on that in the next 3 weeks, maybe 2, because LSU is going to start their off-season conditioning. Finals are happening right now across the country, and so guys will be finishing up their classes at junior college or wherever, and you'll be able to make that transition. But the point I'm making here is I don't really know anything about Dylan Johnson or Javier Jones, not a clue, but I'll take one of them. Just if one of them's 6 feet tall and can run, I'll take him because you just need some numbers. Hopefully, you can play the season with Pickett, Woodland, Jackson, Turner, and Finney. Hopefully, you can play the season. But, guys get hurt. And if you sprain an ankle or blow an Achilles or tear a knee up, get a concussion, you're going to be out there with true freshmen running around. And that's just not a recipe for success. And you had this opportunity in the portal window to go add to your roster. And I think they just mismanaged the cornerback spot. I'd like to get an explanation on that. If they just thought that their numbers and the talent they had up there was good enough and they just wanted to spend their money elsewhere. But it's a pretty important position. And these numbers are just not really adding up. Because if you take away the true freshmen, Finney and Ellis, by the way, Finney is an early enrollee, a reclassification early enrollee. So he's supposed to be a junior in high school right now. So if you've got Finney and Ellis as true freshmen and you knock them down a peg, Pickett, Woodland, Jackson, Turner, that's 4 guys. You got 4 upperclassmen. That is playing with some fire. So I am hopeful, and it's a good thing that they realize this and are doing everything that they can to put this together and get a junior college player on the roster. They've added one, could add another one, and then your numbers will look a little bit better and you'll be a little bit more mature. And hopefully you stay healthy. And I trust Corey to put a great product out there. When I look at the concerns on this team that could derail them from potential playoff run, cornerback's down on my list. But the depth at the position is on my list. And they're trying to rectify that with a couple junior college prospects. If you want to follow along with that, you can over at the Bengal Tiger. Shay is all over the recruiting aspect of that. And if anything does break, we'll certainly let you know about it here and write about it over in LouisianaSports.net. But LSU welcoming 2 junior college cornerbacks, Dylan Johnson and Javier Jones, trying to add one of those to Levante Williams, a commitment from Georgia Military Academy, to add to some depth there because Aiden Anning is not going to be able to help you all year long on this squad. So let's look at some LSU football here on this Monday. Again, hope your work week's off to a good start. We're brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Find them online at guaranteehealth.com, guaranteehealth.com. Step aside, come back, close out hour number 1 next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Auction wants to remind you that May is National Stroke Awareness Month. Remember, be fast. I've been telling you be fast for the last few days as we've gotten into May. Balance, eyes, that's B, balance, eyes, fast, face, arms, speech, time. So if you're looking for stroke symptoms, if a person is unable to maintain balance, look into that. If the person's vision affected, or all the eyes deviated to one side? Face, is one side of the face droop or is it numb? Arms, is one arm weak? Speech, is speech slurred? Time, if a person shows any of those symptoms, even if they go away, call 911, get to a hospital immediately. Strokes can be prevented. You can control your blood pressure. High blood pressure is a major risk affected with strokes. Ask your doctor about atrial fibrillation. It's another major risk factor, and some symptoms can include heart palpitations, lightheadedness, dizziness, and shortness of breath. May is Stroke Awareness Month, all month long at Auctioner. Appreciate our friends ever at Auctioner.
At Parrish, we're built for tough players and tough roofs.
Coach is tough on us about preparation, and Parrish brings that same championship mindset.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
ParrishGroup.com. At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Hey,
it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to...
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Monday show is brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions, GuaranteeHealth.com, GuaranteeHealth.com. Look, I know those of you that are in the healthcare space understand the importance of the Net Promoter Score, and Guarantee Health Solutions recently helped a client go from a 65 to a 90 in just 3 months. Guarantee Health Solutions is here to help you in the healthcare space, help your patients, make their experience inside your organization as personable and seamless as possible. Starts with the website, making sure it's accessible, functional, user-friendly. Then goes to the patient experience inside the office, whether it's a hospital, dental clinic, private clinic, urgent care. Do you take that patient journey seriously as a healthcare provider? And if you may fall short on that, well, who can help? Guarantee Health Solutions can. They can come in, train your staff, overhaul your website, handle your marketing, make sure that patients are getting the proper notification when they're supposed to come back for annuals or follow-ups, getting patients in the door. That's what they're there for at Guarantee Health Solutions. They're moving healthcare forward. It's Guarantee Health Solutions. They're online at GuaranteeHealth.com. All right, just some odds and ends from the baseball weekend that I found to be insignificant, but I think some others found them to be significant, so I wanted to touch on it. LSU recently, I would say in the last 10 years, has gone to holding up the L, right, in pictures and stuff and the recruiting, all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't do it. It's not, I don't feel like LSU's like Texas with the hook'em, or you've got Baylor with the sick'em. Northwestern State's got a demon thing that they do. Like, there are a lot of schools with hand motions. TCU's got the frog, Miami with the U, yeah. I don't really identify with LSU's L, but I know they use it in recruiting, whatever. But yesterday, a Georgia pitcher came off the mound and pointed his finger down. And I don't know if that's some sort of thing that he does.
Oh, that's a diss.
Or, I mean,
that's a diss. That's a diss.
And look, I'm completely fine if he wants to do it. I did have one bit of beef with him.
Okay.
It was kind of like if you bank in a 3 without calling it.
Yeah.
And then celebrate that. He threw it a horrendous pitch.
Yes.
It was a breaking ball that never broke and floated up above the strike zone that somebody at LSU swung through and missed for a strikeout. It was a horrendous pitch that got a quality result, and then he threw the downward L, I guess.
L's down, yeah.
So
down.
I'm going to need you to like perform a little bit better if you're going to hit me with this. I'm good with the celebration. I'm good with bat flips. I'm good with dancing in the end zone. I'm good with horns down. I'm good with a little bit of celebration, a little bravado. This is not a cocktail party.
Yes.
This is not, we're here to play a game and be competitive. You want to say that to LSU, you're kicking their butt. I'm all for it, but I need a better pitch.
You know what this means, though, right? This just means that LSU has been at the top for so long that you're the most hunted. So now that everybody gets a chance to bring you down, they're gonna do it.
I gotta do a little bit of digging in the facility over at Alec Box.
Okay.
On Wes Johnson. He was here in 23 when LSU won the national championship. And I don't have anything concrete right this second. I sense there's not a ton of love lost. I don't know what happened. Like, I know when Andy Cannizaro left LSU for Mississippi State, he started recruiting some of LSU's signees to go to Mississippi State. That pissed Paul Maneri off, and they did not like each other.
Yeah.
I know what happened there. I don't know that there is some sort of case here with Wes Johnson. Like, certainly LSU didn't lose players to Georgia. So I don't. Maybe they love him over there. I don't even know. But I feel like I've heard some stuff. I got a text from a Florida source this weekend.
Oh, wow.
That had some unsavory things to say about Wes Johnson.
Okay.
I've seen him like get real short and chippy with the reporters over there in Athens. So I don't get the sense that he's a bundle of sunshine. But maybe their players kind of take on that personality.
Most definitely, man.
Look, I did not. I got a tweet about on Saturday, Georgia, or maybe it was Sunday. The days run together. Georgia stole a base up like 10 or 11 runs. And somebody was like, what about that? That's Bush League. And I was like, here's my thought on it. One, that kid is trying to go 30-30 and win the Golden Spikes. He's a stud. And he's trying to be a catcher that goes 30-30 in a college season, which is wild.
Crazy, yeah, that's crazy.
Daniel Jackson's a star. So if he wants to go get a bag, we don't have that many games left. Fine by me. Throw him out. Like, throw him out. You have every opportunity to throw him out.
Yes.
And two, like, LSU did score like 8 runs in the 7th against Ole Miss to come back. We know that wild and ridiculous game against Kentucky where they were down like 8-0 and came back and won. We know the Vanderbilt game got wild and crazy and they scored a bunch of runs. Georgia's ballpark's a bandbox. So, like, plus if you want to, 10-run LSU and get off the field earlier on a Saturday,
do that.
That's fine too. So I didn't have a problem stealing a base up 10 runs.
Nah, man, especially once you said that this guy is trying to go for history. That's a little bit different. This isn't some, red shirt freshman they throw in the game to just go run the base.
Yeah, and he's not like cheating. It's not.
No.
It's not like if in a football play you're trying to run hurry up or something, like you're creating like potential injury and stuff. Like I'm trying to think of other sports. Like this doesn't impact LSU at all. Throw him out or don't, but he's going to go steal a base.
Is this kind of like in basketball, some guy that's leading the SEC in scoring and the game being over with, but he's still in the game?
Threes.
Yeah.
So some to that extent.
Okay.
But the difference is in basketball you have to shoot.
Yeah, like you can't just run the clock out.
You can't. The shot clock's going to run out. In baseball, you can sit still on first base.
Yeah,
but I didn't have any problem with that at all. I'm okay with emotion. I'm okay with a little bit of edge. I'm okay if teams don't love each other. I'm okay with all that, and I didn't have really any issue with anything that Georgia did. I don't get the sense that I would be a best buds with a lot of Georgia guys. This Lujo dude on Friday, who stared William Schmidt down.
Oh wow!
After William Schmidt hit him with an 0-2 fastball in like the second inning of the game. It's like, boss, pretty sure 0-2, he's not trying to plant one between your shoulder blades.
Yeah.
You haven't even hit this weekend. It was his first at bat. It'd be one thing if he just pimped a home run or something. He hadn't done anything. And William Schmidt just made a terrible pitch and hit him. And Lujo turns around and stares him down. Like that, I'm like, well, you're just a clown. If you think that's what was happening there, you just don't understand how baseball works.
Yeah, man. Sounds like Georgia, they smell blood in the water. That's what all this sounds like, especially the dissing and all that. LSU's at the top. You're coming for the top dog. That's what happened.
I don't know if I'm pulling for them. There's like a ranking of teams because I'm gonna have to watch NCAA tournament baseball this year with no LSU in it.
Yeah, A&M's out of it. You don't want A&M.
So A&M's top of the list.
Yeah.
Arkansas is second on the list. I can't have those two teams winning a title.
Yeah. You was okay with Texas. You said you was okay with Texas.
I'm fine with Texas. They can't catch us this year. And Tennessee's doesn't have Vitello anymore, so they don't have as much. I don't have as much vitriol.
I don't
there.
like their fan base though.
I never pulled for Kevin O'Sullivan. I never pulled for Tim Corbin. My team, I think I've said this. My team is Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is hitting like crazy.
Okay.
They are studs. They got beasts all through that lineup. And that's going to be the squad I hope wins.
Okay.
But there are some teams in the SEC that I got to cross off, and I think Georgia may add it to the list.
That's what they want.
They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, but I think they rubbed me the wrong way.
That's what they want. They want for a team like LSU to hate them now. That's what they want. That's what Ole Miss is doing.
I'll have to see. I'll make a few calls. It's the season's still ongoing.
Yeah.
I can't ruffle any feathers over there right now. After the thing calms down, maybe Super Regional weekend, I'm assuming Georgia will still be in there. I might send off a few texts to my sources over there and be like, all right, what's the deal in West Johnson? We like this guy, we don't like this guy. And I'll take the information. And if it's overwhelmingly positive, I do appreciate him coming here and winning a national championship. Yeah. So I do have to weigh that in my decision. But if he's ruffled some feathers or he's not that cool a dude, I may have to pull against him. We'll see. I'm trying to find some angles here for June, Jordan. I got nothing for June.
Well, look,
June is a wasteland. I'm supposed to be in my jacuzzi in Council Bluffs in June, not sitting here talking about Bill Steele's magazine.
Well, on the bright side, you don't have Brian Kelly as a head coach no more. So Lane Kiffin, he sets every day for Lane Kiffin is a new day for him.
He's in Vanity Fair. I
you
read it.
see what's going on.
It was. I didn't learn anything from the Vanity Fair piece at all. All the people at Ole Miss are pissed.
They're
about it,
hot.
They're really mad about everything that has to do with Lane Kiffin. I just don't have time for it, really, honestly. I'm too cranky about baseball to worry about what Ole Miss is doing with their old football coach. Hope their new coach is bad. I do hope that. We'll see. That's it for hour number 1 here on a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We're brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Take a time out. When we come back, we'll hear from Kellen Moore, Saints rookie minicamp in the rearview mirror. Got a lot to do in hour number 2. Stay with us.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. Tub to shower conversions are their bread and butter over there at One Bath and Closets. They can be quick, they can be painless, they can be cost-effective, and they can be transformative in your bathroom. Think about that tub that's in your bathroom right now. Like, do you ever use it? If you do, great. This is not for you. But if you don't, or it doesn't work, or you don't have 2 munchkins at home like I do that we got to bathe every evening, get rid of the bathtub. Put in a walk-in shower. Changes the look, changes the functionality of your bathroom, adds value to your home, just makes the bathroom a more pleasant spot. Those tubs can take a lot of space up. Use it with something you'll use. That's David Duvall's promise to you at One Bath and Closets. They do it right the first time and leave the competition behind. Go to the website, onebathandclosets.com, and see pictures of their fantastic work. You can read reviews from their satisfied customers and get your process started with that free consultation today. It's One Bath and Closets. You can find David Duvall and his team online at onebathandclosets.com.
Ever wonder why cane sauce doesn't come in a pre-sealed packet? It's because it's made fresh inside every Raising Cane's every single day. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. The NBA playoffs continue with a couple games tonight. Pivotal Game 4 in Cleveland. The Cavs and the Pistons with Detroit up 2-1. Then the Thunder and Lakers from LA. OKC with a chance to complete the sweep tonight. Tips at 8 and 10:30 Eastern. Game 5 in T-Wolves Spurs coming tomorrow. Series even at 2 after a big home win for Minnesota last night. Spurs star Victor Wembanyama will not face any further discipline for elbowing Minnesota's Naz Reid and will play tomorrow. Wemby ejected after being called for a flagrant 2 in the second quarter. It's the earliest an All-Star has been tossed from a playoff game in the play-by-play era. Elsewhere, the Bucks are open for business on trade calls and offers for two-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. Bucks engaged in trade talks before the deadline after he expressed that the time had come to part ways. Played in 36 games this season around injury, averaging 27.5 points per game, under 10 rebounds and 5.5 assists this season.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, it's NFL schedule release week, and I'll tell you my top 5 games I'm most excited about this upcoming season. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Hey, it's... Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
He needs care and treatment.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Is this a great country or what?
Locking down the middle of the day, live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions, online at guaranteehealth.com, guaranteehealth.com. Vanity Fair has released its piece on Lane Kiffin. I'll give you my thoughts. People in Oxford are real mad. We'll talk about it in 15 minutes. Right now, we're going to lead things off with the Saints rookie minicamp. Kellen Moore met with the media yesterday discussing second day of Saints rookie minicamp. And obviously, the headliner was Jordan Tyson. And Jordan Tyson was unable or was not out there at practice on the second day. And that obviously drew a lot of eyebrows because he's the one guy that people actually wanted to see out there. As much fun as it is for those guys to go out there who are tryout players trying to earn a spot on the training camp roster. Tyson's supposed to be a star on the team, and people wanted to go see him, and obviously did not get that opportunity. But Kellen Moore addressed that.
No, again, just similar for these guys. We finally get our hands on these guys. They've been through a lot, whether injuries last year, off-season training, and all that sort of stuff. We just put these guys in our system, and similar to last year, you probably saw rookies who were, in and out of different activities, and so very similar to a number of these guys that didn't participate. Yeah,
so no injury there, no injury at all. There was a second question. I think this bite does include the question as to was it an injury?
So is there a planned absence then? Yeah, this will just be planned just based off of putting together a plan for him.
Planned based on putting together a plan for him. So, look, I wanted you to hear from Kellen Moore, not me. I think that's more dynamic when we hear from Kellen Moore. So, no, it was just a planned deal with a bit of an absence. And so Jordan Tyson will be able to ramp things up as the summer progresses with OTAs and certainly with training camp coming up in July. The last question here Kellen Moore got on Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, early on this acclimation phase, and so we'll get him in there, and we'll just start building it the right way, and we'll take it kind of day by day.
That is just the worst. Sometimes Kellen Moore just gives you absolutely nothing, and sometimes I love it. I think it's humorous. Sometimes he gives you really good sound. Sometimes he gives you absolutely nothing, and I'm actually entertained by both of them. The last one on Jordan Tyson here. Will he be a full go for training camp?
Yeah, again, every guy's going to be on different planes here. Again, we focus on, hey, building these guys up the right way through this whole offseason program. When you get to the veterans will be here, again, you guys will see phase 3. There'll be veterans in similar plans where, hey, they may be limited to certain exposures. Again, we're building these guys up so that the whole goal is OTAs is just a continuous build up, and then when they leave this place, they just keep going on their own for a few weeks, and then training camp, we just keep going. And so different than, OTAs and take this long break and go back to ground zero or first level. Like, let's just keep building. And so that's the goal for all these guys. Load management. That's what we're dealing with here with the Saints. We got a long way from the Junction boys where we were out there in 900-degree heat doing 3-day practices. It's a slow ramp, and I think Jordan Tyson should be just fine. So again, not a lot of meat on the bone here with Jordan Tyson. I think he's going to be just fine, but Kellen Moore didn't give a ton on that. Jeremiah Wright was out there. Very difficult to discern really anything from linemen who were there in their first rookie minicamp because they don't have pads on. So you're not really getting a look at a lot of football activity from those guys, but Kellen Moore did speak about the third-round selection from Auburn. Strong guy. Obviously, we saw what he progressed through, coming from Auburn, his exposure there, playing both sides of the football and all that sort of stuff. These are challenging exposures. So, again, most of it's going to be individual work with the offensive line coaches, working through the individual techniques, and then some of the communication stuff, which is huge. And so, good first impression. Good first impression. I'm pulling for Jeremiah Wright to become a depth piece initially and potentially a starter on the Saints team. We played that game last year. Are these guys going to be on the next great Saints team? And when you're talking about Demario Davis, Alvin Kamara, Ryan Ramczyk, Cam Jordan, Tyrann Mathieu, these guys, we're talking about, it's unlikely to be on the next great Saints team. And I would suggest that Jeremiah Wright is probably unlikely to be a starter on the next great Saints team, but he's certainly a possibility to be a guard on the next great Saints team. Third-round draft picks are what they are. Like, they hit sometimes they don't make the team. And I don't think he's going to be a starter on this team. But that's a guy that, when I saw that pick, I went, okay, file that away. You knew they were going to go offensive line at some point. I like the fact they went at guard because I think their right guard is pretty poor. And maybe this is a one-year seasoning deal for Wright, and then he's the starter in the next year. And maybe that is the next great Saints team. I'm hopeful this is the next great Saints team. Most of the analytics would suggest it's probably not. But the next year, sure. And maybe Jeremiah Wright is a big piece of that. I'm going to keep an eye on him throughout training camp, hope that he makes the roster or is kept around on the practice squad, and hopefully he can push at right guard to become a fixture there at some point in the future. Another position that's kind of in flux has been kicker. We know that Blake Grupe had a brutal start to the year last year, moved on from him. You go to Charlie Foster, and it's an interesting story, but is the consistency quite there? Like the talent is, but is the consistency there? Well, they're looking at other kickers, and Kellen Moore talked about kickers. Yeah, they just kicked outside, and so we put them outside. And, again, both of them were able to kick, which was great. Went through that whole process just like you would in season with our kickers, go through a full kicking routine of getting those guys as much exposure there. And so positive experience. Positive experience. Always looking at kickers. Kickers change scoreboards. I say Charlie Foster. I think Charlie Smith. Yeah, Smith. Charlie Foster plays baseball for Mississippi State, which I was just there, and I did that. That name just popped in the head and went. And then I said that, I went, well, that's not right. Charlie Smith. And look, you're always going to be experimenting at kicker until you're not. And right now, the Saints very much are. I'm hopeful that you've got a guy that can be that dude. But it's an interesting story. It's not necessarily one that is settled. So they got to continue to work out kickers and look at kickers and try to get the next one, because those are points, and you got to have them. I mean, I'm amazed every Sunday at like 3:10 p.m. how many games are coming down to a kick right there. And we don't think about the kicker a lot in July and August. And then all of a sudden you've battled for 3 hours and all that matters is the kicker. He's the last one out there. So yeah, they got to get that figured out, and I'm confident they will continue to do that. Maybe not switching him in and out as quickly as Sean Payton did once upon a time,
But Blake Grupe forced their hand last year, and now you've probably got an opportunity where you're going to have to do something similar this time around. So, like I said back on Friday, back on Thursday with Luke, rookie minicamp is the lowest piece of the totem pole on the NFL calendar. It feels less impactful than the draft, less impactful than training camp, less impactful than free agency, less impactful than
the schedule release Thursday.
Yeah, schedule release is bigger. I mean, it's less impactful than preseason game. It's the lowest rung, and we're certainly here to cover it. And like I said, I'm just glad nobody left the field on a cart. Like that's what we're covering here. They're wearing helmets and T-shirts, and they're learning where to be at practice. Like it's just not going to be something that I'm going to nitpick through every single thing. We hear from Kellen Moore. He gives you very little. You understand that they're just building toward camp, and OTAs are coming up, and we'll certainly get into that when some of the veterans show up, and that'll be a little bit more interesting. This is the bottom of the totem pole here, so we've checked the box, and we'll go ahead and move on. Lane Kiffin was interviewed by Vanity Fair. He came out and said some things about Oxford, said some things about Ole Miss, and the people in Oxford and in Mississippi are really cranky about it. Should they be? I'll tell you next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC, FabryChevrolet.com. FabryChevrolet.com is the website. Every car that is on the lot at Fabry Chevrolet on Highway 61 in St. Francisville is online at FabryChevrolet.com. So go check it out. If you're looking for a brand new SUV for your summer road trip, they got them. They got Yukons, they got Denali's, they got Tahoes, they got Suburbans. If you're trying to load the family up and head to the beach or head to the mountains or wherever it is that you may go on that summer drive and you don't feel like your car's up for it or your lease is up and it's time to get something new, Fabry Chevrolet GMC is happy to help you out with that. They got fantastic deals, and you're going to get wonderful customer service when you go work with the people at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. It's why the Fabry family's been in business in this town for 35 years. They're so thrilled to have this new point that they acquired in October up there in St. Francisville. Quick drive from Baton Rouge, certainly shorter from Baker, from Scotlandville, from Zachary, over there in Point Capir, the Felicianas. Go by and see them. It's Fabry Chevrolet GMC on Highway 61 in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
My father, J.B. Falgout, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgout.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Parrish, we bring the same commitment to your home that champions bring to the game.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit SpineCenterLA.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Monday show is brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. They're online at GuaranteeHealth.com, GuaranteeHealth.com. Rachel Fricke runs the show over there for us at Guarantee Health Solutions, and she started this company out of a personal experience. Her mother was diagnosed with cancer back in 2009, and Rachel was kind of there every step of the way in the healthcare system, and she found it to be impersonal. She found it to be uncomfortable, and she didn't feel like it had to be that way. Rachel's got a background in hospitality. She comes from the hotel industries, and she thought she could bring hospitality into the healthcare space. And that's what she's done at Guarantee Health Solutions. So if you're in the healthcare space, whether you have an urgent care clinic or a private practice or a hospital or dental office or whatever the case may be, and you need help with marketing, you need help with patient experience, you need to have your front desk trained as to how to handle patients day in and day out to make that healthcare journey a little bit more personal, a little bit more comfortable. You need a website overhaul or some marketing. All these things are within the purview of Guarantee Health Solutions. They're full service over there, and they helped manage over 1 million patients last year. It's an incredible operation, and it's one that can really impact your healthcare operation. They brought a Net Promoter Score up from 65 to 90 in 3 months with a client. It's Guarantee Health Solutions. Check them out online, GuaranteeHealth.com, GuaranteeHealth.com. All right, so Vanity Fair came to Baton Rouge and wrote a piece on Lane Kiffin. And if you are a diehard sports fan, which a lot of you that listen to my show are, because we talk about sports, you're not going to learn a ton from this piece. It goes into the changing landscapes of college football with paying the players and name, image, and likeness stuff, and goes into Ole Miss's relative history and LSU's history. And it's all stuff you know. If you are paying attention really at all, you don't learn anything from Vanity Fair's reporting on college football. But this is for the everyman who may not be as in tune with college football in the South as we are. So it's not an in-depth piece here, but there is a portion of this that is driving people in Oxford insane. And I'll tell you what it is. It starts with a lead that suggests, and I'll read it to you. Lane Kiffin looked like a fugitive. He was standing in a scrubby field divided by a chain-link fence, shifting his weight anxiously from one foot to another. He'd been followed down a country highway by an angry mob which screamed curses and gave him the finger. So that's the scene when Kiffin was leaving Oxford to get on the plane to come to Baton Rouge, right? And there are conflicting accounts of how that went. Lane has been on the record saying that he was trying to drive and people were blocking the road and going nuts. Mississippi Highway Patrol says none of that ever happened. I don't really care. Lane knows. Whatever. But there's another line in this piece, and I can't read it to you because I don't have a subscription to Vanity Fair, and I read this story an hour ago, and my time limit's up. So it says, do you want to keep reading with a subscription? I don't. I've read the whole thing, and I can paraphrase, but I'm not going to subscribe to Vanity Fair in this moment to read the clip exactly. But essentially, and I am paraphrasing here, he says that he had some trouble in recruiting, getting people to move to Oxford, Mississippi, specifically African-American people, with all that goes into Colonel Reb and the Confederate flag. And then he goes on to say, you don't get those responses when you say Baton Rouge. And he's talking about recruiting, and there's a line, my grandmother won't let me move to Oxford, Mississippi. And I don't find it to be an extremely damning line, but people in Oxford, Mississippi despise Lane Kiffin, despise him. They hate what has happened. So everything he does, they're on pins and needles over. Pins and needles. Every time he tweets, they're all over it. Every time he says something, they're all over it. They are pins and needles on Kiffin all the time. And this has really upset a lot of people at Ole Miss. It's evident. The beat writers are tweeting about it. And I just don't really care. I mean, my take on this entire situation, and I don't know Lane Kiffin at all. I've never spoken to Lane Kiffin. I've never shaken Lane Kiffin's hand. I don't know him at all. I have a sense of what I believe his motivation is, and I'll lay that out for you, but I can't be sure about it. I think Lane Kiffin wants to be liked. I think he wants positive public acceptance. And because of his career, he hasn't always gotten that. It ended in chaos in Oakland. It ended in chaos in Knoxville. It ended on the tarmac at USC. It ended just for the national championship game at Alabama. And then this was the worst of them all in terms of exits. And I don't think he wants that to be the case. I think he wanted to be the head coach at USC, not Tennessee. So he left. And I think he wanted to be the head coach at LSU instead of Ole Miss. And this was his only chance to leave. So he did. And people don't like that. And I think that disappoints him. He tries to shape the narrative so that people will like him and actually say, look, y'all weren't very good when I got here, and we were great. And that you should think that's awesome. Well, they're not going to do that. They're not going to have those fond memories with Lane Kiffin involved. They're going to hate him forever as the guy who traded on them and went to the school they hate. It doesn't matter that everyone on the outside would look at the Ole Miss job and the LSU job and suggest the LSU job would be a preferable job to have to Ole Miss. That would be the opinion of more than 95% of people. But that doesn't matter. It's personal to the people in Ole Miss. And so they're going to treat everything he does with a negative connotation. And this is kind of a slap at Oxford. Now, look, I've been to Oxford a number of times. You can look at statistics and see that Ole Miss is as diverse a school as there is in the Southeastern Conference. I would suggest that the demographics of Oxford and Baton Rouge are not the same. That's laid out in the story. And if he wants to lean on that statistical fact, he can. I don't know. I've never been in those recruiting pitches. But this is more about Ole Miss resenting Lane Kiffin, and everything he does, they're going to get upset about. And the scene in that town on September 19th is going to be unlike anything we have ever seen. Ever. Nick Saban came back here, not the same. I was in the building in 2000 and was it 8? In 2008. Yeah, 2008. Overtime game. But that was not the same. Nick Saban didn't leave for a rival. There's still a lot of people that like Nick Saban around here at that point. Just wanted to go scratch the NFL itch. This was leaving in the middle of a championship run to go to the school that we hate the second most. And now they probably hate the most. And that environment is going to be toxic that day. I don't know another way to say it. It'll probably be a night game, and that'll give them all day to get going in the Grove. And who knows what that place is going to look like on September the 19th. We'll get a dose of it. It'll be absolutely out of control. I hope nothing significant is done. No truly despicable behavior happens, but I can't rule it out.
I ain't gonna lie, Hunt. Somebody's getting arrested. Somebody's getting arrested that day.
There'll be extra security detail, and I'm sure that they'll do some things a little bit differently in terms of getting him out of the public eye. When he's on the sideline, but getting from the bus into the
maybe not the
facility
Kiffin,
and all that kind of stuff.
And the fans like the guy that punched somebody at the LSU Ole Miss game, that is going to happen. At least 5 people are getting arrested for this. At least 5.
Yeah. So here's my deal. If I'm an Ole Miss fan, I would hate Lane Kiffin for what he did. Absolutely. I wouldn't have a reaction to this quote. I mean, Lane Kiffin recruited pretty well to Oxford, Mississippi. By all accounts, a pretty delightful place to live. I think that they are going to make a mountain out of this when it doesn't really need to be. And I don't think that Lane Kiffin really needed to do the Vanity Fair piece. I think I think Lane needs to embrace who and what he is, and that's a guy who has some messy exits, some groups of people that are not going to like him, a negative perception nationally until he settles down in a place, wins games, and stays out of the news. And doing a Vanity Fair piece is probably not going to keep him out of the news. So it's just one of those things. I think Lane Kiffin's pretty happy here. I think he's going to win a lot of games here. And ultimately, if this is the place that throws its arms around him as the final chapter in college football, that should be fine with him as well. Maybe he moves on to the NFL. Maybe it doesn't work. It didn't work for Brian Kelly. You never know. But trying to mend fences backwards is not going to work, and it's certainly never going to work in Oxford, Mississippi. The way that went down just doesn't work. And you can read the Vanity Fair piece again if you're a diehard sports fan. It's not going to teach you anything, but the Ole Miss folks are extremely fired up about this thing, and you're going to hear podcasts about it, and you'll see a lot of pitchforks out from Oxford. It all comes down to what you do on the football field, and the first one he takes that's on the road is going to be the one he called home for 6 years. It's going to be some kind of scene. But that is just a long way away. Long way away. We're still in early May here. We'll get there one way or another. All right, we'll come back. Got 30 minutes to go. It's a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
First American Bank and Trust. First American Bank and Trust. FABT.com. FABT.com. Look, bank local. They've been here for 116 years. They're going to be here for another 116 years. 25 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana. So they have the resources of those national banks, but they've got the community feel, and they've got decision makers here locally that are calling the shots on your personal loan, on your commercial loan. Not somebody in Atlanta, in a high-rise in Chicago. It's right here in Southeast Louisiana. Whether you're in St. James, St. John, Lafourche, Terrebonne, maybe over I-12, St. Tammany, Tangipahoa, there's a First American Bank and Trust near you. Bank local with a bank that's got the resources to help you out. First American Bank and Trust, FABT.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you,
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com. HighlandIG.com is that website. Jonathan Carbo and his team, they're first class when it comes to the insurance game. You'll know I spent 7 years in insurance, so I can still speak the language a little bit. I'm not quite as fluent as I once was, but I enjoy sitting down with the team at the Howard Insurance Group and talking to them about what they're able to do for their clients, and they really are experts when it comes to coverage. There are two aspects of insurance, obviously. You've got the price, premium, and you've got the coverage. And they're both important. Howard Insurance Group absolutely knows that, and they understand that clients look at that premium very, very closely. And they can shop from their dozens of carriers to make sure that you're paying the right price, but they also want to make sure that you're covered properly. There are a lot of complex documents that come into insurance policies, and they're experts at going through them. They know the pitfalls. They understand where there could be gaps in coverage, because the last thing you want to do is spend on the front end with the premium and then come back and not be covered when there's an event. And you never know when that car accident's going to happen, when that lawsuit's coming, when that employee is going to click that link that they're not supposed to and shut things down. Never know when the storm's coming. Make sure that you're covered, and the Howard Insurance Group can do that for you. Let them audit your current program. Let them put their eyes on it, see if there are any pitfalls, and if so, they'll make sure that you're taken care of. It's the Howard Insurance Group. They're online at HighlandIG.com. I gave this segment a lot of thought this morning. Because now the dust is essentially settled. It's possible for LSU's baseball team to go out there and sweep Florida. It's possible for them to go win 5 games in the SEC tournament. It's possible for them to win the SEC tournament. It's unlikely. This team is not going to make the NCAA tournament. And that is stunning to me. That's what I wrote in my column around the horn at LouisianaSports.net this morning. It's stunning to me that they did not make the tournament. And this is not really about me, but I was thinking about personally my coverage of this team and this program. And I'm not paid to be right all the time. Like that's not the job. I think a lot of people would suggest that, but that's an impossibility. I'm here to be prepared, informed, eloquent, entertaining, and give you some opinion. Some of that opinion is going to be right on the screws. Some of it is going to be a straight up miss. That's just part of it. It's part of doing 10 hours a week. And so I don't have a responsibility to get it right. Now, I can't be wrong all the time. I can't just not know what I'm talking about and screw up everything. But I'm not here to be a prognosticator or whatever. I'm here to give you an opinion. And I wrote a column last year after the final out was recorded in Omaha. Wrote my game story in the road column. And I wrote up that the dog pile was a signal to the entire college baseball world that the machine in Baton Rouge was up and running. That Jay Johnson had gotten his feet on the ground and that he had overhauled the roster 2 different times and he'd won 2 different titles. You could have made a point after the first title that, hey, he inherited Cruz, he inherited Morgan, he inherited Beloso and Dugas and Milazzo and Travinsky. He inherited Thompson. He inherited Floyd. And then he got a unicorn in Skeens that happened to line up with the best player in the history of the program in Cruz, and they got a title in year 2. I would never make that argument about Jay Johnson. I think he had a ton to do with winning that title, but you could make that argument that he inherited a title caliber team, sans the pitching, and he went and got the best pitcher we've ever seen, and it just lined up. I would have done it. You could do it. But the team that won it 2 years later didn't have a player that started against both Florida and Coastal Carolina. Jared Jones certainly on the team. He didn't start against Florida. So he rebuilt the entire thing and won another one. And so I said, well, this thing is cooking now. They're going to be a force for a decade. Look out. And they might be, but they certainly weren't this year. And I went out there and watched them in the fall, and I went out there and watched them in preseason, and I wrote preview pieces, and I talked on this show, and I told you this team was going to be great. Now, I was tepid on the starting pitching. That ended up being a disaster, but I thought the offense was going to be legit. And I whiffed. And, I do have to take a little bit of introspection and go, you're sitting here prognosticating and telling people that this team's going to be great. They're not. They're bad. This is a bad team. They're 0-12 against teams with a winning record. It's not like, oh, they're not great. They're bad. So I have to look at that and be like, okay, Homer, why didn't you see this coming? And again, I don't think anybody's running to Twitter to blast me and go, what? Because look, they were ranked in the top 5 by everybody preseason. I don't think anybody's going nuts with Kendall Rogers or Aaron Fitt right now. SEC coaches ranked him high. I'm not the only one who suggested this is going to be a really damn good team. But I'm in charge of my role. And I was thinking about, what did I miss? I watched in the fall. I watched Zach York hit. He hit the ball over the fence. He hit the ball the other way. He didn't strike out a lot. I was like, this guy's a dude. He's going to hit 318 with 12 homers. He's going to be awesome. He's going to hit 4th. And it didn't work. And I looked at what Jay Johnson had gotten out of Chris Stanfield and Michael Braswell and some guys who hadn't been great offensive players at their previous stops. And so I thought, well, he'll take Trent Caraway and he'll unlock that California Player of the Year that Oregon State signed. And I don't know any difference between Braden Simpson and Daniel Dickinson. They both played at small schools. They both kind of play on the infield. They're not huge guys. They've hit for a lot of power, stole a lot of bases at a lower level. Okay, you lost Daniel Dickinson, just plug the next guy in. There he is. Seth Darnar was the best hitter on Kansas State's team last year. I don't know where he can play on defense. Maybe he's just a DH, but he ought to hit 315 with 10 homers. And maybe he would have if he didn't get hurt. But I just did not see this team falling apart. I sat here in this very chair, and I talked with Musso on a preseason preview about how, maybe LSU doesn't have Anderson and Ianson, but they can start with Evans and then go to Rizzi and then go to Cowan and then go to Grant Fontenot, and they can come back the next day and then go with Schmidt, and then they can go with Santiago Garcia, and then go with Marcos Paz, and then go with Gavin Guidry, and the next day they can come back and they'll have Cooper Moore ready to go, and he can go 5 innings, and you've got all this depth. And this is the deepest pitching staff they've had. This pitching staff can't get anybody out. I just sound like an idiot in that preseason thing, just assuming all these guys are going to be great, and they're not. And I don't want to come up here and give you a prognostication on a team and miss by this bad. If you had asked me on February 14th, walking into the box, how many SEC games are they going to win, I probably would have said 16 or 17. I think they're going to win 10, 9? That, I'm missing by 8. That's not even close. So I just don't know where I missed. Obviously, injuries don't help. Losing 2/3 of your weekend rotation for a couple of weeks and losing one piece for the entirety of SEC play doesn't help. But you ought to have somebody else that can go up there and get some outs. Paz went out there and had no command of anything he threw up there over the weekend. And so I'm trying to rationalize to myself, how did you miss that bad on that team? How did you not see that this team was going to have huge struggles? Defense, you could have seen that coming. You were moving some guys around that hadn't played those specific spots. Simpson, Dardar had not played those spots. Tanner Reeves hadn't been a great defender. He lost his job for defense last year. York, York played worse defense this year at LSU than he did in 3 years at Grand Canyon. He was fine at Grand Canyon, and he could not throw the ball to bases here at LSU. Jake Brown made like 4 throwing errors. I don't think I could have seen that coming. Catching defense was going to be a concern for sure, but I just trusted Josh Jordan. He got Luis Hernandez to play really well last year. And that's the thing, y'all. Like, this coaching staff had continuity, and they have done great things. Josh Jordan got great defense out of Luis Hernandez last year when Luis Hernandez had not really been a catcher. I just assumed he'd get it out of Cerna and Aaron Beatty. Jay Johnson has coached transfers. He's coached freshmen. He's coached stars. And he's got development. And you saw some guys on this team did develop. Braun, Cerna, Brown, all taking steps up. But a lot of guys just didn't. It just didn't take. I've seen Nate Yeske get guys to really improve. Chase Shores, Anthony Ianson, Cade Anderson. Huge improvements. I thought you saw real improvement from Gage Jump in his year at LSU. Griffin Herring became a star at LSU with Nate Yeske on the staff. And I just thought, well, he's got all these guys that are so talented, that'll work. And, like, it just didn't. And it is stunning to me. I'm not stunned that they lost on Sunday. I'm stunned that they've gone out there 4 different weekends against the top of the conference and gotten swept. And they did not even look like they belonged on the field with Georgia and A&M for a lot of those 6 games. Like, they were competitive with Mississippi State. They fought those guys tooth and nail. They fought. They just didn't have enough. And it happens. Almost everybody gets swept over the course of a weekend. Who's the other sweep? Ole Miss. I mean, yeah, you were around. You hung a bunch of runs on Sunday in that one, but you got 10 runs in another game. So just to not be competitive so often for a program that felt like it was clearly atop the sport is just jarring. Now, my confidence level that Jay Johnson gets it fixed is high because LSU still has a lot of resources. It's still an extremely attractive place to play, and you just have to hope that the transfer portal puts some really quality players into it because that's the one thing you can't control. There are so many high school players available that Jay Johnson can look and assess and make sure he gets everything accounted for from the high school level, then you got to deal with the draft. But you have options in high school. You kind of control the market there. You don't control the market in the portal. There may be a Chase Dolander or Liam Doyle or Paul Skeens floating through. There may not be. I don't know who the best transfer starter is in the league this year. Maybe Marciano at Auburn. But, you can't control it. He doesn't know today who's in the portal. But you've got to go get athletes and pitching to come in and supplement Aaron Beatty, Cerna, Braun, and that crew. We'll see if Ruckert and Patrick are definitely part of the equation next year. I think they've got a good chance to be, but they're not in the category with Braun and Cerna at this point. Certainly not Aaron Beatty either. I'm comfortable and confident that it'll get it figured out, but I'm going to look through a completely different lens this fall when I go out there and watch them than I did last fall. Because last fall, I'm just sitting there going, this thing, cruise control's too easy a word to put out there. That's diminishing the amount of effort and brilliance that Jay Johnson puts into that program. But it just felt like, okay, they got it figured out. The machine is up and running, as I said. Like they're just going to, it's like an assembly line. They're just going to churn out 19, 20-win SEC teams that force their way into Omaha. And the truth is that now 3 of his teams, 3 of the 5, haven't hosted a regional, and one of them's not going. So it's hard for me to call that a machine. It's just a really powerful program that produced 2 phenomenal years. And I'm going to have skepticism now where I just had blind acceptance last year. I went back and read my column last night. I was like, I got to, what did I write? What did I say? I just said, look, I don't know how many he's going to win, but you're in trouble if you're the rest of the country because the best coach is at the best program and he's got it figured out. And you fast forward, I guess, what are we, 10 months, 11 months? Fast forward 11 months, and you're looking at a team that is among the worst in the SEC. It's hard for me to fathom how that happened and how I could have missed so badly in October and January. But I did. I wasn't alone, but I did. I'll try not to do that. I'm going to look at it with a more skeptical eye moving forward. This is, by the way, I saw this statistic. The first year since either 74, 75 or 75, 76. It's one of those two. The first year since basically 1975 that LSU will have a losing SEC record in football, men's basketball, and baseball. Tough. I told you I thought the football team was going 9-3. I told you I thought the men's basketball team had a chance to make the tournament. I told you baseball was great. None of that happened. Got to get back in the lab with some analysis because I was way off, and I think a lot of folks were as well. Come back and close it out next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. SwingEasyGCBR.com is the website. SwingEasyGCBR.com. They got league play that's coming up, and I'm really excited about it. We're going to get 2 teams nominated to compete to earn a spot in the league. They'll have league play, scramble format on the simulators, you and a teammate. If you're interested in that, starting tomorrow, we're going to start entering teams to compete. What we're going to do is we're going to draw 2 teams randomly from our text line, and they're going to compete, scramble format. We'll pick a course. And if you win, you'll get a spot in the league where you can compete weekly, win prizes, really fun stuff over at Swing Easy. So stay tuned. Tomorrow, we will launch that via our text line. Such a cool place to go hang out, hit some golf balls. Swing Easy on Segan at Perkins or online at swingeasygcbr.com. Stop by today. It's Swing Easy Golf Club.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Raising Cane's Texas Toast is a thick slice of bread, garlic butter spread, grilled to golden perfection and made to order just for you. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
My father, J.B. Falgout, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
want to give a huge shout out to our friends at the Renaissance Hotel. My wife got a little staycation on Saturday evening for Mother's Day. We dropped her off after Mass on Saturday. She walked on in, checked in solo. They had a charcuterie board there for her, had a bottle of wine there for her. She got a night with no baby monitor and no alarm clock to wake up to on Mother's Day Sunday. And that's all courtesy of our friends over at the Renaissance. I know they are partners of Matt's show and After Further Review, but I wanted to give a hat tip to them publicly. It's a phenomenal facility. They got great food and unbelievable rooms. My wife loved every minute of her stay there on Saturday night. So if you've got somebody coming into town that needs a place to stay, the Renaissance, I highly recommend. They were fantastic for my wife on Saturday night, and appreciate them very much for doing that. So I wanted to give them a bit of a public shout out there. All right, let's take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
All right, Hunt, it's the day of reckoning, so was the jambalaya hitting the spot? Take it or leave it.
Take it. It was
Take
good.
it. I'll take it.
It was really good. I will say this.
Okay.
It was the wrong color.
What?
I like my jambalaya to be like dark.
Okay.
And it was light.
Ooh, okay.
But it tasted great.
All right.
So I got in the lab. I was looking at the video that I was watching as a recipe.
Okay.
There's an addition that he puts in and doesn't mention when he goes in to brown the
Always.
chicken. I think there's something that with color there. As I've said before, I love to cook. I'm not very good at it, and I don't understand what I'm doing all the time.
Okay.
I'm fully aware of that. But the jambalaya tasted fantastic. I had some for lunch today. Reheated fantastically. It was really good. It was a little bit light.
All right, so what type of meat guy are you in your jambalaya?
We went chicken thighs and andouille.
Okay. A little something over
Didn't
there.
have any pork, but I went chicken thighs and andouille. Did it in the Dutch oven. It was excellent. And it was like, gumbo's a really long, intensive process.
Extremely.
My gumbo start to finish is like 7 hours.
Yeah.
This is 55 minutes.
Yeah,
like I
it
can do
shouldn't
that.
take
I can do it
long.
on a Tuesday.
About
It's
to say.
good. I'm in. I will absolutely be making jambalaya.
All right, then. So Spurs superstar Victor Wembanyama will not face any further discipline for elbowing Minnesota, former LSU Tiger Naz Reid in the face. He will play Game 5 against the Timberwolves. I guess that would be tomorrow. So is the NBA protecting their golden boy? Take it or leave it. I don't think you've seen this.
I have not.
You
I'll
haven't
probably
seen
take it. I'll probably take it.
They're protecting him. It's gruesome.
I mean, we're throwing elbows. We can't be throwing elbows.
I'm not talking like
those are long and bony elbows.
Yes.
That's not an elbow you want to be hit by.
We're talking one of these. We're not just talking like a little chicken wing.
we
We're
can't
talking
be doing that.
reel it back.
But that's the deal. Like, they need their guys out there.
Need your golden boys. So NBC Sunday Night Football will spotlight a divisional rival to kick off the 2026 NFL season. The New York Giants announced they will host the Dallas Cowboys on September 13th in the Sunday Night Football matchup. So could this have been better, or are you feeling this matchup? Take it or leave it.
Cowboys-Giants?
Cowboys-Giants week 1.
I'll take it.
Take it.
Here's the deal. It's a great uniform game. I like that.
Classics?
They're classic uniforms I like. Rivalry I like. Do we think are the Cowboys going to be decent this year? I feel like people are starting to pump the Cowboys up this year.
That's every year, though. They're going to pump them up, and they're going to do the thing. I'll say the Cowboys
Giants are going to be good.
We'll see with Harbaugh. I'm not the biggest Jackson Dart believer, so I'm not going to be, the Jackson Dart.
Got to get my guy Malik back out there.
I need Malik out there. I think the Cowboys will be decent. I know they're going to score. We'll see what their defense they did. They got rid of Parsons.
On Dak. 31, 32.
I know he came in 2016. That was his first year starting, so he should be in his 30s. He's on his second contract in NFL, so he's over in his 30s. Got to be, I'll say 31. What you
32.
got? 32. He just turned 32.
He was born on July 29th, so he'll be 33 this summer. That's
Cowboys,
older than I thought.
Yeah, Cowboys will be drafting a quarterback very soon. But nah, man, I like the matchup.
Do they still have Cooper Rush?
No, he's on the Ravens.
Okay.
He's on the Ravens.
Cooper Rush.
He's on the Ravens. No, they got Joe Milton, your boy. Bazooka Joe.
No,
yeah, Bazooka
Milton.
Joe. Yeah.
My God, that guy can throw a ball a long way.
He can throw it 100 miles. Can't throw it 20.
Nah.
So, no, I'll say like this.
Joe Milton, not a name I was looking for today.
Bazooka Joe. But I think that the Cowboys will be decent. I'm just not the biggest believer in always giving us the Cowboys for these primetime games. Stop giving me the Cowboys. Give me somebody else, man. So that's it for Take It or Leave It.
All right, that's it for Take It or Leave It here on this Monday. Schedule release on Thursday, so that'll be the big NFL news of the week. It's a big deal. That is a big deal. I'll have to look at what the Saints will be looking for. You try to stay out of the cold, and you want rookie quarterbacks early if you play them.
Yes.
So we'll see how all that shakes out, but we'll get to that on Thursday. Tomorrow's show, we'll have Glenn West on from Go 24/7. We'll talk some LSU baseball and football. Sharif will join us to talk Saints rookie minicamp as well. No midweek baseball this week. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday for LSU in Florida before everybody packs up and goes to Hoover for the SEC tournament. So baseball season's winding down, and that makes my stomach churn in a very, very, very bad and sad way. I wrote in our group chat that I was just sitting in a dark room playing Omaha by Counting Crows, just dreaming of a brutal June. That's what's coming. Baseball got us all the way through June, not even going to get us to June this year. So change of pace, but we'll adapt. We'll keep things rolling. If you missed any of the show today, catch it on demand wherever you find your sound. Search Hunt Palmer Show. Hunt on LSU for all your LSU content. Hunt on Saints for all your Saints content. And Hunt Palmer Show for the shows in their entirety. That's it for us here. Matt's going to drive you home next on After Further Review. Everybody has a safe and wonderful Monday evening. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place on the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Marucci, you got a youth baseball player under your roof, youth softball player under your roof, and they're just eating up with it, just want to get in the cage, take some hacks, improve their game. Become a member at Marucci. You get key card access to their cages, which is also pitcher's mound, 24/7. Before school, after school, in the rain, after dinner, Friday night, whenever you want to go in there and take some hacks in the hitter's house, you can do it if you become a member over at Marucci. They also offer tours. I tell you about that all the time. Go see where the official bat of Major League Baseball is made. They make 1,200 of them every single day, send them to the best players in the world. Go see where that happens and learn the story about how it went from a backyard shed to the official bat of Major League Baseball in 22 years. It's such a gem here in Baton Rouge. One, for that story. Two, for that facility where you can become a better player with that membership access. It's Marucci right here in Baton Rouge, online at maruccisports.com.